here.
Yeah, certainly so. John, I did promise someone I'd ask you a question that I haven't asked yet. I apologize I can't remember the name of the person in the chat, but they did want to ask, Jonathan, have you had merienda today? We've got to ask the question, John. We've got to hear what you've had to eat this morning. Go on.
Yeah, I did dip out in this short 10-minute break. I was at the mall, got myself, was going shopping for a bit, looking for like stuff with my mom. I don't know why, but we went shopping, and before going home, we went, we bought some bread from a place called Bread Talk, which growing up, my parents taught me it was a very expensive place. So I never went in, even in Manila, until recently. Like, it's only in the past, when I moved to Singapore for a bit, that's when I was like, Bread Talk's not that expensive. Then I realized just how cheap my family is. And that's when I realized, that's the trick. They don't want you buying that stuff.
Well, you could buy a whole loaf of bread for $1, John. Why would we go to Bread Top and pay $1 for a tiny piece of croissant or something? That's what your dad would say, I'm sure.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true. But we got like a couple things. I got chicken parm, so had that. I have a cheese sausage for later on, Mike. So I'm all set. I'm good. How about you? Did you have merienda, Mike? Did you have anything good?
No, I haven't, Jonathan. I thought after shaving the beard, the wife would be happier and she'd be more willing to, prep some food. She's been busy recently, Jonathan, so no, I have not. I will be going through the drive-thru once again tonight, I think, as we are going to be ending quite late.
Oh, Mike.
Well, what can you do? I don't have Bread Top readily available at my doorstep like you do, Jonathan, right? I've got to struggle. I've got to suffer a little bit,
Oh, Mike, and we have off-stream talks about, getting healthy and all of that. I guess the casting life just doesn't necessitate that, Mike. We're too degenerate for that.
Yeah. The gamer life, Jonathan. You can't just eat vegetables and broccoli and all that crap. That's terrible. Disgusting. Patriots. Third pick up for them. Draft does continue. Thank you for the merienda update, by the way, Jonathan. Obviously, the viewers care so much about your dietary needs, so we've got to make sure you're remaining healthy during these casts as they do go into the Ember Spirit now. No surprises there. Ember Spirit still very, very potent. Just a very good pick to make here for Patriots. Polaris Esports, they haven't really revealed their mid, but I think now, seeing the Ember, you could just maybe throw the Lelouch mid sanking out onto the Ember mid, and we've seen the matchup before. It does favor the sanking right now because Caustic Finale is pretty darn powerful, even just at level 1.
Yeah, it's the Caustic and the Sandstorm. Like, it's very hard to engage Sand King while he's doing so much AoE damage for free. And you're going to have to invest in the sentries to counteract that lane if it is mid. The Sandstorm did get readjusted, but so did Ember's Sleight of Fist bonus damage. So I think you do feel stronger on the Sand King. Like, his nerfs weren't as hard as it was on Ember, I want to say. Like, that bonus damage was scaled down in a good amount. So early levels for Sand King still feel really good in that mid lane. If you do run the mid Sand King, you do lose out in the Inkswell combo just on the side lane. You could still find something else here for Nevermind to play with that Grimstroke, and that could be one way to go. You also have the option for Storm, and then this is where it gets spicy. You could run the Storm off lane and run the Sand King in. Because why not, Mike? You have the Inkswell combo with Storm, right? Like, it's still a combination. Vortex Inkswell. So off lane Storm. This is it's legit. That's what I'm going to be playing now, Mike. I'm going to be playing off Storm.
That was against the safe lane Husker as well. I mean, don't forget, John. They made it look kind of stupidly good, considering, they couldn't lane against the Husker last series with that offlane Storm, but it doesn't matter because you only require 5 null talismans. And guess what, Jonathan? You could just zip around. No problem. Pick some treads up, get a BKB, get an Aghanim Scepter. You're done. I still think Support Storm's going to come out. In fact, prediction right now, John, during the Stockholm Major, we will see 1 position 4 Storm, at the least. Considering that all you need is null talismans into BKB and Ags, you don't even need the treads, quite frankly, let's be honest. You're only buying the treads early on to be able to farm a bit faster and move a bit faster, but just get Ags, get BKB, you're done. Finished.
Yeah. I don't know about Support Storm, though. Like, it just feels like you end up with a pretty weak lane unless You have
Why?
a really good offlane combo. Like, it doesn't have much laning presence as a harassing support. And it will shove out the wave if you go for the stat Remnant. Overload will also kind of shove in the wave if you're trying to harass. So it can be griefy for your offlaner, depending. So I'm not sure about that, but it could work, Mike. This is Dota 2. The draft is developing, though. The Lina does come out here for the side of Polaris, so that should be our Lelouch hero on the mid. Great scaling coming through here with the Lina. Should have a really good time against Ember as well. You outrange. The Ember's going to have to really play with Sleight of Fist to maximize that lane, but that's also not too bad. Ember, again, Sleight of Fist is still pretty strong despite the nerfs. Still hits really hard. Orb of Corrosion time is still really good. Laning phase, just even Blightstone could allow you to harass that Lina fairly well. So I don't think it's too unplayable for MLPDotA, but I will favor the Lina just slightly there. Wave clear's a lot better and harassment is good. And Polaris just pick up a Ogre as well. So they've got a good steroid for the Natsumi hero coming out in the safe lane. Again, knowing Natsumi's playstyle, he does love to kind of take it slow for the most part. Get that build up on his big carry hero. And the Ogre Magi can help speed that process up and just give you a lot more attack speed when you are farmed up.
It certainly does. Patriots, we'll see how they want to try and respond to this. Oh, here we go again. Another AM pick coming out. I don't know. I don't know. This anti-mage, well, for what purpose? There's no Medusa. There's no Storm yet. Okay, there's a Lina. You can jump the Lina. Fair enough. I don't know. I don't see it, John.
I don't either, Mike. Jacroy is an AM enjoyer, though, if I recall right. I do remember Jacroy playing a lot of that AM, so
he was a troll enjoyer last game, John. How'd that work out for him?
It didn't quite work out, so, we'll see what Jacroy does this time around. Maybe he tries something different, like fighting AM with Vanguard Diffusal Basher. That could be one way to go, and that could be an exciting way to go, but I don't see it happening. He could surprise us. You never know, but I wouldn't get my hopes up.
Oh, he surprised me. He chose AM, John. That is very surprising. I am surprised.
Admittedly, it's it's something. Like I don't think you're too worried about the core matchup here for Natsumi at all. Like, is Terrorblade open? Is it? If Terrorblade's there, it could be a good Terrorblade game. Morphling's gone, but they go with a Void instead. So Void Lina, Void Sand King, pretty darn good. You've got the steroid for the Void, so he doesn't need too much farm to have some impact in the chrono. And it is really good hold for both the Ember and AM, right? Like, that's the one thing your lineup might be lacking a bit. A solid way to keep the AM and Ember locked in, get a good chrono, and that solves itself. So they cover their bases here on the side of Polaris. Don't mind that too much. Scales really nice at the late game. You just have to land those chronos. If you don't, then that's where things can get a bit dicey. You are reliant on the Void to an extent to just lock in AM, lock in Embers. So even a Pangolier might be an issue. So Natsumi's got to be on the ball here, but as we saw in game 1, he is on the ball. He's been very good at when to come in, and should expect some great things from that Faceless Void. I do have to say though, Mike, just a bit of a side note, I miss seeing support Faceless Void from Red Panda. I do really miss that. Like Pause 5 Void, like, brings a smile to my face.
I remember the first time we got to see that, how stupid it looked, but how effective it was. Something else that looks very stupid as well, John, is the Skywrath Mage, but it is here now. The Patriots go ahead and pick that one up. I guess it's a natural Rod of Atos carrier, which is kind of nice against the Void. It makes enough sense. Ancient Seal, very good obviously against the Void. Gonna force an early BKB here from Natsumi. Personally, I still don't think it's that great of a pickup, but I suppose it is very lane dominant here from LYM. How do you feel about the drafts, John? I mean, hopefully, well, I mean, either way, I don't really mind, but we might eat our words here with the Patriots draft coming out. Do you have anything you want to finish off with? Any finishing thoughts here for these two drafts?
I can see a play from Patriots where you Ancient Seal Mana Void someone and just blow them up.
Sure.
So that's nice. Bushwhack with Mystic Flare. Bushwhack with Mystic Flare is a weird one because you kind of want only one here in the Mystic Flare. You don't want to share that damage, so that's a bit wonky. I would stick with Polaris' draft. I think they have a very solid lineup for the Faceless Void to shine. Burst Strike, Epicenter, and the Chrono is good follow-up. Lina can stand a million miles away from the Chrono and do really good damage. And
I
again,
guess-
lane matchups aren't too awkward either.
I guess Ancient Seal plus Sharpshooter is pretty busted, right? As a combination, like it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, it is, but once you get BKB, neither of those are really a factor. And I think for Void, you mentioned early BKB, it's not like we see Voids go anything else beyond BKB second item for the most part. It's either Maelstrom or Mask of Madness into BKB almost every single time. So I think that build up for Natsumi still makes sense. And you will have that early spike for Patriots, but we have to see them play with a draft because in game one, they had that early timing as well. They didn't manage to utilize that early spike. So that's the correction we have to see from Patriots. Just play around their early spikes, play around their strong lanes and their strong level timings, and try to run down, punish that greedy Void pick.
Fair enough, John. We are going to get into game number 2 in just a moment, as it looks like we've got a pause straight on the bat. But you know, John, you and I, we love pauses, so we're going to head off right into the game, see what these teams have to say against each other. In fact, never mind. The pause is over immediately. How upsetting. 5-man smoke is there. Patriots, they're going to rush down. What is it, John?
They just want to play tag with you, Mike. They knew you were going to say something dumb like, oh, we're just going to talk more. And it's like, no, you're not. Got him.
Got it.
You should have known.
I'm very curious to see how this draft goes for Patriots. I mean, Patriots, they're one of those teams that do enjoy running some very unique drafts, so is the way I'm going to put it. And I do appreciate that. It does lead for some very entertaining games, but at the same time, a lot of the time, those drafts don't tend to work. I'd say majority of the time. Sometimes you can catch the enemy off guard, to be fair.
Yeah. Like, I just don't know why they're playing around when they could just go for Jacori CK. Right?
True.
Like, the CK is still there. It's not a priority ban for Polaris, so it's something we've seen Patriots win a lot with recently, and I'm just surprised they don't go for it. Maybe they feel like they're in a good position now in groups, so they can maybe try to experiment around a little bit, test some things out in an actual tournament setting. And we'll see if it pays off. I'm sorry, but you know, I'm on the same boat as you with the AM. There are some games where I could justify it. This one's a pretty hard sell for me, Mike.
It certainly is, John. The thing is, you have the direct counter in the Void. Like, mind you, I don't like Pos 1 Void either right now, but I think it's still better than the AM. You get caught in the Chrono, you're just as good as dead. There's no real way around it. It's too much damage that can come in outside of the Chrono as well from Lelouch. But let's see how it goes. Game number 2, Patriots backs against the wall here, trying to get a draw series if they can. Polaris Esports, though, obviously one game ahead, looking for that beautiful 2-0. And we'll start off with the bot lane, considering we were just talking about the anti-mage. You're going to have UK and Jacroy there against Nevermind and Playhard. And in theory, this shouldn't be the absolute worst lane in the world for Patriots, but at the same time, you do have some very nice kill potential here from Nevermind and Playhard. If you can land that Burrow Strike into the Inkswell, it can be quite a painful ordeal for UK or Jacroy.
Yeah, and not even that. Just the AM coming up to the creep wave for all assets is pretty painful. You already see a lot of HP taking away from Jacroy just from Caustic. It's as you said earlier on in that draft, Caustic finale is a lot of damage just at level 1. And Jacroy's going to have to watch himself every single time that creep wave meets up. So, see how much more Jacroy can get. You could try to go for some funky build, like Counterspell maxed out, maybe, but again, that takes away a lot of your own bite in the lane, and he's trying to trade. Nevermind doesn't have the Burrow Strike, so it's a good opening, but Jacroy's also dropped way too low to hold this lane out.
Yeah, and you're not going to mind the mana being burnt anyway, because you're going Soul Ring build here on the Sand King, so Nevermind's going to be fine regardless of all the harassment out from Jacroy. And as you can see, the Caustic Finale, it really does hurt us. Top lane, Xavier, speaking of hurting, is getting chased down right now by LYM, but is not going to be able to get the kill. As bot lane, Playhard and Nevermind both falling low, but it seems like Nevermind's going to be handed over the salve here from Playhard, and he's going to be fine to remain within the lane unless UK gets a very nice bushwhack onto Playhard. Inkswell should not save, though he does Fairy Fire up, but it's not going to be enough. Nice setup there with the bushwhack, and that'll allow First Blood to go the way of Jacroy, which will allow him to just go ahead and buy out that Ring of Health immediately.
And that helps repair his lane, gives him a lot of presence out. I think if Nevermind was a bit closer to Playhard, could have looked for that Burrow Strike counterplay with the Inkswell, and Finch managed to find that kill themselves. They do manage to get that kill onto Xavius now for the chase down as well. So the early aggression's coming out from Patriots, and as we mentioned, this is what they need to do. They've got strong laning presence, especially with the Sky. It wants to play aggressive. You find some of those early kills, you can start to build to that point where you're looking at early blinks, you're looking at early utility, and you can just force these team fights to buy space for that AM.
Yeah. Was top lane. The low OIM having a pretty good time so far. Xavius does end up going down to the Ogre top side, and I believe Delol was the one to take the kill on the Pango. Natsumi not having the most fun lane in the world at the moment, as he is only 6 CS, though they are going to try and move in onto LYM, though I don't see any bashes coming out. Natsumi literally doesn't get one bash, and now they have to back off because Xavius, he's the one to get chased down. Delol still getting the damage out. There's your bash from Natsumi. Delol still chasing, does get the Ogre, and now's looking to juke out Natsumi, and does do so as bot lane. They even found UK. Playhard does drop in response. Still very, very aggressive kind of playstyle here from Patriots thus far, and it has been paying off. They're currently sitting at 4-1.
Yeah, it's looking good to start them off here, and you are starting to get some of that momentum. You're starting to punish that Faceless Void, very RNG based, whether or not he can follow up on the stuns from the Ogre. The damage output coming through from LYM, the laning phase is pretty nice as well. You do manage to punish and never mind now. So Jacroy, second kill on the AM, it's actually working out. He's managing to find the overextensions from Polaris and just make it work.
A bit of a deny there from LYM, not wanting to give anything away to Xavius, just denies himself off with the reset. How's mid lane going? Lelouch and MLPDotA have been going at it for a while, though it does seem Lelouch is going to pull ahead as a great stroke of fate connects from Playhard, but they're not going to have the follow-up with the Light Strike Array. Whew, close call there for the Ember. Still, it does seem like a very good time so far for Lelouch.
It's to be expected. You've got the range advantage. Ember's forced to play around more with its Sleight of Fist, trying to dodge out spells, trying to get some CS that way, but Sleight of Fist was touched up a bit in terms of its damage, so it's not as easy to just find those early CS with the early levels of Sleight of Fist, and that is giving a lot more out for Lelouch. Is set to have a good time to build into his travels, and that's when the presence really kicks in for the Lina. Having that move speed to chase down, having the global presence coming through to show up in any lane and force an issue out. On the side of Polaris, again, a bit of a slower start, but you are at least seeing that shining example here from Lelouch. And again, when it comes down to it, it does feel like the leanest to win condition. Your Void is here mainly for the Chrono. He can do some damage down the line, but it's going to take a lot of time. Until that point, the Lina is your main focus here for Polaris.
Yeah, with the recent changes to Lina, with the Fiery Soul, she does attack pretty darn fast, pretty easily. Just one good Dragon Slave basically gets you to the max stacks immediately, and that's why MLPDotA, he's been having a very rough time. It was to be expected, though. The Ember can't really do too much here. It's going to kind of suffer through it. Try to soak that XP and get to that level 6 mark before you can play a bit more assertively here against Lelouch. For now, though, he'll just abuse the Sleight of Fist as bot lane. Another nice bushwhack set up by UK. Play hard and never mind. Going to be able to back off just fine. The Sand King not having the greatest time, and Jacroy, he is certainly farming very effectively on this anti-mage thus far. Seem like Polaris can't really slow him down too much. Even with the double stun combo, they just aren't able to get it done. Back mid lane, rotations out. Playhard's already died here to the Ember. UK's going to drop to Lelouch, but they might find the Lina, and they will. MLPDotA, he'll get a double on the Ember, and that's something he desperately needed.
Yep, helps him bounce back. Manages to get that double damage rune, gets the work done with the level 6 up and running. And they are finding punishment here on Patriots, so slowing down that win condition now on Polaris's end. Polaris, for their part, just coming out with such slower lanes, just not getting the start they want. As you mentioned, Nevermind's just not having a great time. Can't even clear out these creeps peacefully. Sentry already down, Jacroy just getting the chase.
Yeah, never mind. He can't find the spot where he's actually invis, just trying to rotate around the trees, but yeah, UK gets the voice lines out. He was the one to place the sentry down. Meanwhile, top, Natsumi gonna try onto Delol, but again, very unlucky with the bashes. We'll get one off onto LYM. In fact, a double bash onto LYM, but that's not the target he wanted to bash. He needs a time walk, but he's not gonna get it. He only bashes on the Skyrath. Delol, he's invulnerable to it.
Yeah, it's nasty with Void and stun. Sometimes, you know, 12% is just 12%, Mike, and doesn't come through.
Lol, Rolling Thunder, that's going to protect him from the Ignite damage, and he immediately just takes down the Ogre. Quick TP up. Stroke of Fate from Playhard, not going to make the difference. 10-3 already. Patriots just so aggressive with the draft. You love to see it, John. This is one of the ways they're going to be able to make this draft work, is just dominate the lanes this hard.
And just punish that greed with the 2 cores that Polaris want to build up. The Lina needs farm. The Faceless Void's going to need some farm as well. Until that point, it doesn't feel like they're going to be fight ready. And the Blink for Nevermind's going to be stalled out because of his low lane. He does have the jungle to play with here, but just don't have a smooth way of forcing these fights out until at least Sand King Blink.
So good with these rotations. Going to help Among Daya set up for a killing spree now. It's UK on the Hoodwink being very effective this far. Already level 5, 8 minutes in, and he definitely won't need the tomb here. That sharpshooter's up. Just matter's going to get so much easier, and it's allowing so much space for Jacroy. Currently 4.5k net worth, just way ahead of anyone else. It's going to be a very fast Battle Fury timing at this rate.
Cause of concern. Like that's with the Orb of Corrosion and the Power Treads build up, so it's not like it's a naked AM. It's really quick farm. Chrono out though.
It is. Laguna committed. Bushwhack off the mark from UK. So this time around, does mess up a little bit. But I believe Lelouch would have always had the damage anyway. So not too big of a deal. Delol, he's going to cop the first Chrono. Lelouch will be the one to take the kill on the leader. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to help out the Pango. But in the meantime, Among Daya is getting some very nice chip damage off into that mid-tier 1 tower. But it doesn't seem like he's going to quite stick around here on the Ember. Just going to look to back his way out. In fact, rotation's going towards the top lane again. It does seem like they really want to try and focus on Natsumi here. And if they can land a nice Bushwhack into, say, an Ancient Seal, it probably would just be a guaranteed kill on the Void. Especially with Delol around. They're trying. UK. No Bushwhack yet. Natsumi knows something's wrong. He'll back off at the right time, and looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah, they are forcing the Void to kind of get away from that lane. Not much jungle left as the Lina's already cleared it out. So you're not getting that quick build-up you'd want on Natsumi. Kind of lagging behind. Bottom 2 core right now on the map. Is going to start playing down bot, knowing that he has a bit of a free lane up against the AM. But you still worry about how much Jacroy is able to get out from the free lane. Battle Fury is going to be so much quicker to farm with compared to the Void with just the Mask of Madness. And again, your ramp up here isn't smooth going for Polaris. Like, BKB is going to be out for Lelouch, no travel, so he can't really chase down, but you can always play with a Chrono. Blink is almost done, Nevermind. That could be one more point for Polaris to play with. At the side of Patriots, understanding that they've got some room here, are looking for that shove on mid. They've got the siege creep up here. Shouldn't take too long to get this tower down, and Polaris just not in position to defend.
It's very, very hard without the Chrono up to try and defend this. With Delol, he's in the tree line waiting with the Rolling Thunder to make matters worse. Play hard, he's going to stick around. They do have the blink up on the Sand King, so maybe they could try to force the fight, but it doesn't seem like they want to. They'll just accept the fact the mid-tier 1 tower is going to drop. Patriots, they are well and truly ready. What? I heard a Laguna Blade on the Ancient.
Yeah, on the Thunderhide. I mean, Lelouch was dropping low, so I guess he felt like he had to kill a lot fast. Not expect. I mean, it's a low cooldown, right? It's like a minute 10. So you can just wait out. It's not the biggest deal in the world for Lelouch, as he's needing everything he can get. With the tower gone, though, Patriots are going for that smoke play. Among Daya. LYM, they've got a lot of damage on hand.
Xavius is going to tank the gank here for the Void. Nice positioning from our Ogre. They can't really afford for Natsumi to die right now. Definitely a great kind of tank as mid lane. They're onto the Grimstroke. Never mind, he'll be around to try and help, but Playhard surely is going to die. They'll get the silence off Among Daya. Still trying for the Sleight of Fist, but will not connect. Playhard is going to be alright. Never mind, barely saving him. But they still found the mid-tier 1, so it just feels like Patriots now. They're looking to get as aggressive as possible.
Yeah, but this is the timing for Polaris now. They've got the blink up on Nevermind. They can play with the Epicenter when it is skilled up, but he doesn't have the skill point yet. He needs, like, how much EXP? He needs 5 EXP to hit Epicenter, so maybe if things don't line up, only having the Berserk Sandstorm, still an opportunity for Polaris.
UK. Nice position from him to break the smoke, but no, he's backed off at the wrong moment. In they go onto the lull. Chrono going to be committed. No hesitation again from Natsumi. That'll be a Pango to die. UK, he was right around the corner. He was just about to break the smoke, but he does back off right beforehand. That'll cost the life of the Pango. It will mean a kill to go the way of Natsumi, and again, he desperately needs the gold right now in that Void. So any kill to go the way of the Void is going to feel very, very good for him. And it seems like Patriots, they're going to just sit back for a little bit, keep that farm going.
My thanks.
It seems like they're more than happy that Jacroy is well and truly ahead of anyone else on the anti-mage, and I suppose as long as he's hitting creeps freely, they'll be happy.
Battle Fury up for Jacroy, 13 minutes in. Really quick timing with the Power Treads and the Orb of Corrosion. Nothing to scoff at from our AM. That lead should start to build up now on the AM. The side of Polaris are going for a bit of a greedier build-up. Natsumi opting for a Mask of Madness into Maelstrom and then BKB. So third item BKB instead of second. That does mean that it's going to be easier to catch him out if he is out of position from the rotations of Patriots, if they can catch him out. And I think that is something Polaris will have to watch out for. That means they're going to have to wait for the Void to keep farming up. Maybe show up every time there's Chrono. But beyond that, Natsumi will be taking farm away now. But Lelouch is doing the same thing. He has the BKB. He hasn't shown up to a fight with it. Still opting for the Travels next. So also looking for a little bit more farming presence out. But it does feel like Patriots have slowed down a bit, Mike. They've not been as aggressive. And with this, so...
Never mind. I'm going to cop the Ancient Seal, but that'll make it quite obvious there's a ward around there. Play hard. Not actually going to go for the D ward here on the Grimstroke. Mid lane, they've got the Ember. That's going to be a big one, but Mamang Daya be okay to remnant away. Just not quite enough damage yet on that Lina to be able to secure the Ember kill. Back towards top lane though. Never mind, and play hard. They're still hanging around. Seem like Patriots are interested in sticking around and kind of risking their own lives here against the Sand King and Grimstroke. They do have plenty of damage. Patriots, I mean, I do agree. It is kind of weird that they're not getting aggressive. Like, you could put all your eggs in the AM basket, but that's feel like the power spike right now that they have should allow them to fight, especially when Chrono's not up. And if they don't, this is what's going to happen. UK, he'll get chased down, but does manage to get away with the sharpshooter. So he does successfully manage to survive. That isn't a wasted opportunity, just kind of sitting back like this.
It does feel like it. I mean, you still have this 2k lead coming through here for the side of Patriots. They will go for that smoke play now. The lull did opt for the Spirit Vessel instead of a Blink, so going on top of the target can be tough. But yeah, it lines up with the Chrono and the epicenter of Polaris, so they can also flank in. You don't find anything with scan, but if they get a good circle around, it could be a good position to still force that fight.
It just depends if they're going to have the Chrono there, but never mind. He could get a really nice initiation on this Sand King. Jacroy going to break the smoke. They do move in though with the Inkswell. Jacroy gets stunned up, and now the Chrono. 3 heroes caught out. Jacroy's gone. Natsumi, he'll move right onto the Pango. That's going to be a second, maybe even a third onto LYM. Why smoke when Chrono's up? That's what I just don't understand. They waited so long to smoke up, and they smoke as the Chrono comes off cooldown.
Timings just don't line up there, Mike, and they get punished big time. Polaris again just playing with her team fight. They do manage to find Uke as well, so UK does fall. Nice little freebie going their way. And Polaris have been playing around that tempo of Natsumi really well. Every single time Chrono's up, they will go make the play. Good TP out from Natsumi, catches a massive Chrono. Always hilarious to see, you know, like a Pangolier flying up in the ball form in Chrono. He can't do much, and it's just tough right now for Patriots. It just feels like they're not able to jump in as much as they'd want to. They've got good reach with a Hoodwink. They've got this combination with Skyrat Mage, but we haven't seen the big Mystic Flare plays. It's just not really come out. Polaris aren't giving them any openings like that. Chrono might be down, but Epicenter is still up for Nevermore. Never mind, Mike. So they can look for another engagement if they want to here.
Patriots. Gonna move in again. Patriots should be the ones to go now, I guess, but they're not moving. In fact, Triangle's gonna be overtaken. They saw the Pango, it seems, to lull. gonna back off, and instead they'll just take the AM Courier. This time the rotation's not gonna work out for Polaris Esports. But they still seem very confident just holding that Radiant Triangle. Patriots very hesitant. Never mind, looking for a target, has found the Ember. BTS has been caught, but is going to remnant away at least for now. Lelouch the one caught out, but there's your Laguna Blade. Lelouch, he is not dead yet. Finally going down to the Acorn shot, but they should be able to find a second. The LOL will also go down. At least they got the Lina this time, but they're the ones that they're just very passive right now on Patriots.
Yeah, I don't understand that remnant out from Mamangdai. He goes towards his Pango, still within range of danger from the side of Polaris, maybe not recognizing the rest of Polaris was around to back him up, and does get punished. So your Ember's put down, your Pangolier, the build-up stalled out. He is going for utility, so he ults. Blink is way down the line here for the Pango, so your initiation's mainly on the Ember getting good chance, or perhaps just getting good bushwhack from the Fog from UK. Can be a little bit harder to play around that aspect in comparison to the Rolling Thunder. So I think Polaris are going to have a bit of an opening there, as Chrono is back up once more for Natsumi, but he is inching towards the BKB. I feel like he might just wait out for that timing before committing on to anything else. Laguna is back up for Lelouch, and that is a beautiful double Laguna coming out there as well with Soulbind, getting the first damage off.
Mid lane, nice initiation, never mind, he's there, Mamangdaya. There's just too much disable. Patriots, if they're going to play defensively, they can't hang around in the mid lane like that. It's either you hide in the jungle or you smoke up and go for a fight.
It's not safe to show up with how aggressive Polaris can get. And it's like you mentioned, it feels like Patriots should have been the ones playing around those timings, should have been the ones to punish whenever Chrono's down, whenever Epicenter is down, but they've just opted to play this farm game. And yes, Jacroy is farming. Yes, his Battle Fury is paying off. He's still number 1 in net worth, but is your AM really going to be able to take on the world? He's counteracted by that Void. It just feels so difficult to have this AM be a massive target here.
OIM, he's gone. UK, not safe either. He's going to try and run towards the north, but is scouted up by Nevermind, and that's going to be another double. It really is all the eggs in the AM basket. Like, sure, Jacroy's farming great. He's going to have Manta up very, very soon. In fact, he can afford it right now. Into the Eye of Skadi up next. We'll see if it pays off for them. I don't think Jacroy can 1v5, but you never know, I guess. Every AM player seems to think they can, John.
That they do. I mean,
Chrono. Natsumi, he's caught the big one. Lelouch, he'll have the follow-up. There's no way to survive. Maybe they can at least find a trade here onto Natsumi with the Ancient Seal and the Chains out. They'll at least take down the Void. But it's like you said earlier, the real carry here is Lelouch on the laner anyway. I don't think you mind. You killed the highest net worth hero in the anti-mage. You're more than happy with that.
And Natsumi already bought out. His BKB was ready to go. The recipe was just hanging around the base. So he's still very, very satisfied with that kill. Again, just playing with Chronos really well on the side of Polaris, knowing they've always got that opportunity. There's just no counterplay for Patriots on Chrono. You know, it's not like you have an Oracle. It's not like you have a Venge. It's not like you even have a Shaker to cut off with a Fissure. You're always going to get max value from Chrono, even if it's just on one. Legitimately, even if you don't catch certain heroes, as long as the aim is inside, even if it's just a one-man Chrono, there is no stopping it from the ends of Patriots. They just don't have play, unless a bushwhack angle, but again, Lina is very safe being so far away from Chrono anyway. It's not likely you get both Void and Lina in a bushwhack, and for the side of Patriots, it's just, it feels like this is just a ticking time bomb. Polaris is just set to always find these engagements unless Patriots find something new to do.
They're going to try now. Chrono's down. It's a great team fight to try and go for as they do catch out Xavius. Nice start. Oh boy, they found the anti-mage. Lelouch still going. Jacroy, he did not blink away. He didn't get into the Roshan pit. That's not good.
Yeah.
I mean, no Chrono when that still happens.
Yeah, no words, Mike. It's looking rough for Patriots. I mean, they make this choice to go all in on their AM, and your AM's not number 1 at more than more. It is Lelouch. He's got the Shadow Blade up, going for the Silver Edge. going for the Satanic next. You know, your typical pause one, or well, your typical core Lena build-up. And there's just no stopping it. Like, you've got the BKB and Mamang Daya, so he's a bit more protected. Maybe your Ember could try to make plays. He is going for the Lincolns next, just to stop, say, the Soulbind or the Silence or the Laguna, or the single target stuns, perhaps a Burst Strike onto him as well. But it's just so defensive of a build-up from him as well. Like, all the offense is just on Jacroy. Again, our Pangolier build has been very utility-based. The Blink is up for the lull. Maybe you can start hunting with a Smoke out. You could run bot, but Chrono's back up again, right?
They're going to try. This time around, Polaris, they are split up. Natsumi is around, but Xavier's can break the smoke. They're going to make the jump in with the Bushwhack and Natsumi. He should be able to easily back off. The TPs are coming, but he doesn't want the fight yet. They are too split up, so Patriots, they will take a decent Ogre kill. Just the pos 5 for now. It seems like now Polaris, they're the ones who want to split push a little bit. Seems like they're just happy to keep farming. At this point, the AM just hasn't proved to be a problem. You can just let him keep being that gold sink, I guess.
Yeah, you know, it's like what we used to say when we'd see Alpha Pause 1. I remember this from NA, specifically like Sammy Boy, right? Like when we'd watch that region. He'd get all the farm in the world, but then it's only him farm, right? Like, it's just this massive gold sink that can't go up. So it's going to be a bit tough. Roshan's opening here for Polaris. They got all their teamfight spells. Not going to take too long. There is no vision as well to watch this on Patriots, since they're not able to contest. And that's Roshan number 1. Secondary life for Natsumi. We've still got Chrono ready to go.
Double head as well. Lelouch will happily take that. That means that next Chrono is going to be a very painful experience for whoever does get caught in it. I believe that's the second time double damage is dropped after Roshan this game, so, you know, tradition is being followed, is very good to see. Tier 2 tower, Natsumi will get started. Bloodlust is there, Mask of Madness out, Natsumi got plenty of attack speed, and he's got the rewind button. It's rewind time.
And it is. He is going straight for the Mjolnir next. Would love to see the Ags. Honestly, I love the Ags with the with the time walk. It's just hilarious. You just come in, bash them all, get out. And it's like, hey guys, bye guys.
Bye.
Why not?
Oh, that's a Rolling Thunder. They're going to try and blow up this void. Maybe they've got him. Aegis is down, but now with the Soulbind, they're locked in. It could be a very easy Chrono. Once he does revive, Natsumi will move in. There's your two-man Chrono, locking them down. LYM, he'll TP out right in front of his team. You got the Aegis. It's not bad, but you do end up paying 2 heroes for that. It's still problematic.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the secondary life on Natsumi, so that's kind of nice. Chrono was forced out as well. Pretty long cooldown, but you still have Lelouch, who has the full Silver Edge with a DD. Like, high ground can still happen. You still have the threat of Epicenter here from Nevermind. And you just still have a lot of fight, although
Natsumi, this time he will pop his BKB. Careful, Natsumi. Not tier 3. Oh boy, AM has been caught. There's the bashes. Chains out, Mamang Daya. He might try to fight, but there's no damage. You know, people always get upset with me when I call Anti-Mage as a hero trash. This is why, John. You get stunned once. It's bye-bye.
Yeah, pretty much. They will go for a smoke play though, try to find something. Lelouch could be a big target.
Nice bushwhack. They have got Lelouch locked down. That's a good one. Patriots able to fight back. Xavius now is going to be the secondary to get caught out. No Chrono means they probably won't be able to fight, but Xavius somehow still alive. Does finally go down as they've actually found more. Play hard. Hasn't backed off yet. In fact, never mind. He's going to move in with the epicenter. They're going to try and force the fight, but it's not looking too good for them. Mystic Flare out. They've got the Void. Natsumi is going to drop. As it seems like this time around, Polaris Esports getting a little bit overly confident. Do not back off after Lelouch did die. And they'll drop 4, it seems. Unless Playhard finds a way to juke them out with the TP, and looks like he has. Does TP Playhard? Just TP, sir.
Wait, no.
Alright. He's going to go for the kill, John. Hold on a minute. Play hard, trying to do something a little bit cheeky, and has he got him? The urn charge is still going. DeLol, he's all right. My goodness, that was a little bit close for comfort.
I mean, they could have cut their losses there. Not the biggest loss in the world, I suppose. He was looking for the creep wave cut just to prevent any moves on the tier 2 bot and the mid. This time around, Polaris overstayed her welcome. No BKB on Natsumi there, so he's just caught off again by the great stuns coming through from UK. Same thing goes for the side of Patriots, I suppose. If you get the Bushwhack and Ancient Seal, it doesn't take too long to kill off a few of these heroes, Mike. And those BKBs are starting to wear down here. Polaris has to respect some of that team play, although...
OIM, excuse me, rather UK getting caught. Lelouch will happily take the kill now on the Lina. It's the one saving grace, right? Like, OIM with the Mystic Flare has been really annoying here against the Void and Lina for that matter. I mean, you get caught, you're basically just as good as dead. It's funnily enough, what they're kind of relying on in these team fights is to be able to burst somebody down immediately, and seems like there's just got a lot of pressure here on LYM to be able to secure one of those kills ASAP.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because it feels like the counterplay to that combination is just stick around together. Get Bushwhack together and Mystic Flare together, then suddenly that damage isn't so high. So it's a bit counterintuitive, but that is one way to spread the damage. Ensure that you live through the Ancient Seal and just get an opportunity to pop that BKB.
Well, Thunder committed here to LOL. Just going to try and retreat. It seems like there was a bit of a chase from Nevermind. Smoke out. I think that may have been spotted. Lelouch still just going to take the T2 bot tower. The LOL. They know he's there somewhere. They're just waiting for him to go low ground, but being smart about it, just waiting on the high ground. So instead, Natsumi going to rotate through to the Radiant Triangle. Among Dire, narrowly going to avoid the smoke, but does show on the creep wave. Will Remnant back the other way? Have they got him? They need the stun. Lincoln's broken. Among Dire, no, he's out of mana. Chrono's committed. Maybe they can fight after the Chrono, but Mamang Dire out of Remnants, unable to get himself out. Another big pick off here for Natsumi.
And he's really starting to build up on that Faceless Void. Scotty, halfway through almost. You're going to reach a nice spike with a lot of stats on hand, even more damage, harder to burst down. Lelouch almost at that point where he has his Satanic, so he's got a secondary save outside of just the BKB. Gonna have that Dispel on hand to just sustain the fights. The low forced to roll.
Don't stick around too long, DeLol. So there's heroes coming, DeLol. Never mind. Does he chase? No, he won't. He won't bother. Rolling Thunder just lasting a bit too long. It's gonna allow DeLol to get himself out. I guess at this stage of the game, like Jacroy, he could just... You're at that split pushing stage, right? Where you're not 100% confident forcing a fight, but you can certainly split push and try to be as annoying as humanly possible that way. Jacroy is certainly doing so up that top lane. Working towards that bash shot. Of course, in a classic SEA fashion, John, BKB will be the last item they decide to get.
Oh, Jacroy.
Yeah, oh, Lelouch, he might have gone too far. They're going to see him. He is alone right now, but he's feeling very confident with his own Satanic BKB up. Jacroy, he's going to be able to back out. They don't find anyone. So Patriots, a nice retreat. The lines have been drawn out into the mid lane. Keep in mind, you don't have Chrono available right now for Natsumi, but it still seems like they want to try and force the fight. I'm not sure about that for Polaris, but they are making their way over. As Natsumi is going to go ahead with the pause. It feels very unnecessary for them to try and force this fight without Chrono. But it seems like that's the way they're headed.
Balance in all things.
They can still try to take this fight. I think they've still got Epicenter. You just need to find a good angle with a Burst Strike. BKBs are still at the ready for Polaris, so I can see why. And then they can just go for another follow-up fight with Chrono afterwards if need be. So maybe just looking for an opportunistic pick-off. Mamgai is showing mid.
Yeah, they're going to move in. They're going to try and make this one work. Again, Chrono up at 25. Lelouch frontlining, but DeLol is going to Rolling Thunder straight away back into the backside. They've got the Sanking. Never mind. Going to get blown up. A great start. Now Lelouch, he gets caught by the Mana Void, but the Satanic, it's there in time. The Anti-Mage, he's trapped up and he's dead. Oh, so close yet so far. At least Mamangdaya gets play hard, but that's about all they're getting. They get the Sanking, they get the Grimstroke. So close to getting Lelouch. Just one Satanic Pop though, and it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I think he ran out of mana, so your aim instantly lost the damage output. You've got that utility now in Mana Break when they're empty. It's slow, but it doesn't matter if they're standing still and hitting you. So you lost a little bit of that damage to deal with Alina, and that was Polaris taking the fight without Chrono, and even without the Burrow Strike Epicenter. So all your options are available for next fight if you want to take it.
Mamangdaya playing with fire here. You've got Chrono up. Natsumi, he thought about it. Pump faking it there. Mid lane, Lelouch. Maybe they don't need it. They move in with the Light Strike Array, and there's your Chrono out. Mamangdaya. Every time they have a chance to pick off the Ember, they'll take it. Another great kill here for Polaris. And unluckily for them, Roshan is not available yet. It won't really matter though. They're controlling the map. They're controlling the game. Number 2. It's Patriots that need to try and make a move right now, and they are still lacking at least something.
I'm not sure what they're looking for anymore. Like the Basher and AM again is big. No, he's going for the BKB. So he heard you there, Mike. Heard you through the cast. BKB coming out for the AM now. Basher later. So he's going to have some protection at least in front. Issue is that doesn't protect you from Chrono. You know, you can get all the protection you want, but Chrono still trumps all of that, and you just don't have a way of stopping or saving people from that Chrono. You will go for a smoke play on Patriots end.
That's quick reactions from Playhard, my god. Immediate blink out. Rolling Thunder. It does at least get Nevermind. Soulbind gonna fly out. Delo needs to find a way back as Natsumi's still chasing. Who have they got? They found LYM on the Skyrath Mage. He's gone down. They're not finding the initiation. Even on the Grimstroke, Playhard is just way too quick on the fingers. Have they found UK? It seems like they have. They've got the Sentry. They've got the Observer. UK gonna try and back. In fact, Nevermind in a bit of danger, but Mana Void was not great, and now Jacroy, he's been caught out, but he does BKB. Chase is on. Lelouch, he wants the kill. He's not gonna get it though. Meanwhile, Natsumi top lane. Again, no Chrono available, but still looking for an attempt here onto Mamangdaya. Any bash?
Oh.
Chains are out. Very quick from Mamangdaya.
If only Polaris. If only this was Roche number 3 for them, it's still Roche 2. For this Roche 3, you get that free Ags, perhaps, for Natsumi. AoE bash, one way to catch that Ember out, and you just hope for the best and getting follow-up stuns. Still, Roshan set to go the way of Polaris. Free Ag shard that can come through. Who do you give it to? Natsumi already has his. Lelouch. I mean, 10 damage more on each spell with each stack of Fiery Soul. Great, 70 damage bonus, Mike.
It's not bad.
It's probably one of the worst Ag shards. I mean, it's good for farming, but it's super underwhelming compared to everything else. Like, is it the same as a Time Walk? No. You know, not the same as the reverse button on Time Walk.
It's still not bad, though. 70 damage. It's, you know. Is it really that bad? I guess it's underwhelming.
I mean, you wouldn't spend 1,400 gold for it. It's
fair
all
enough.
that.
I agree.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
You have no one else to give. Literally, everyone has a shard, so this is why we see it. But it is probably the one shard no one ever buys.
Okay. I mean, I can agree with that. I haven't seen anyone buying it on Lena, that's for sure. Natsumi, smoked up. Oh, Mamangdaya. Don't show on the creep wave, sir. Ah, he's gonna do it. It's that classic dead lane area. Not gonna get caught, though. They break the Lincolns, but they aren't able to land the Burrow Strike. Quick chains out. LYM. He's going to be fine. Natsumi, he'll TP back down to the bot lane. They saw the anti-mage. Jacroy, knowing something's awry though, does start blinking into that tree line and does back off. It's all about the split push now for the anti-mage. He's doing a decent job of it. Mid lane though, Mamangdaya. Oh, he's been spotted, Natsumi. Easy Chrono. No hesitation. Do they have enough lockdown? Of course they do. No problem. More? The lol? He's gonna roll up. He'll be okay. Polaris, they're not done. Natsumi right into the T4 towers. He wants more. No Chrono necessary.
Your chronology
Do they go high ground? I mean, it seems like they can, even without the chrono. In they go. LYM, or rather UK, getting caught out now. He's dead. DeLol rolling around, but there's just no follow-up. His AM is not in the base right now. He does TP back eventually, but DeLol might just go down. The Rolling Thunder about to end, but looks like he is able to get away. Jacroy, that's a very aggressive TP, sir. Even with the BKB out, he's gonna survive on 100 HP.
Yeah, that's spicy coming out from Jacroy, going for the big play. Does stall out the push, but not long enough to really save its objectives. Has the basher out now, though. But needs to wait for the BKB to be back up. Let's see what the side of Patriots can do. Respawns are coming out. Looks like their high ground just going to be cleared out. One set of racks left. Natsumi looking like he's going to be gunning for it while Lelouch starts to pressure those tier 4s.
They won't actually go for the final racks yet. They do get a tier 4 tower. That's going to be about it. 2 racks is up. I guess there's no rush, though. Like, you've got still 2 minutes on the Aegis. Chrono's up in 45 if you really want to wait, but it doesn't seem like they do. Never mind trying to go on Jacroy, but a very fast counter spell from Jacroy going to save his life. It's just a very challenging game now for Patriots. And again, I think as Natsumi, you just wait for the next Chrono. It's up in 30, so you're still going to have 1 minute on the Aegis by the time you have that up, and you can just rush high ground.
Yep. You can always go for that option. Polaris still have a lot of time left in that secondary life. Patriots backs against the wall. You know, the AM has not managed to clear out enough space on map to really be a massive nuisance. Tier 2 still stand. Just not able to really split push the way you'd want. Butterfly up for Natsumi now, so as mentioned, they could just go for the high ground, play with a chrono. Natsumi is tempting fate by standing forward here, but I don't think they have enough to really kill him off. You have to work the creep waves though. Bot isn't shoved in her favor, but mid and top will eventually make its way to break back door. And we'll have that opportunity to siege.
Here we go. Chrono up. See how they defend this one. Chains are there. Onto the Void. They'll get a nice Rolling Thunder. Maybe they can get through the first life, but the Force Staff is going to allow them to survive. So the Bushwhack is there with the Mana Void. They've got the Aegis down. That's life number 1. Lelouch, he's going to join in now, and DeLol needs to find a way out. Natsumi, though, with a big chrono, has found 2. He'll focus down LYM first. Lelouch trying to make his way in for the anti-mage Croy. He is still able to blink out. Instead, DeLol going to roll around, try to hold them down. And he's going to be able to let Jacroy get back towards the fountain, as now Polaris may have gone too far. Lelouch is out of mana. Mamang Dai, though, has he gone too far? He needs to get out, but Natsumi all over it is going to take him down, and now the Burrow Strike. Jacroy, he can't finish off the Lina. Satanic once again is going to save Lelouch, but they may have saved the final racks, as Polaris, they are not going to be able to stick around to keep going.
Back off. Go for a reset. They've lost the Aegis. They do manage to get a pretty big fight their way, force at least one more buyback once more in the sky. But you are seeing if the chain stance again fly out onto Natsumi, who can be a little bit too far forward. The damage is there, and the DKB might just not turn on. The Satanic will fix a couple of those issues. You will have a way of at least clearing out the silence, and you can save your BKB for a secondary use if you want to, or just stand and fight and heal back up, as we've seen Lelouch do multiple times on that Lina. So you can just take your time. Like, you have 2 really big scaling cores here on Polaris. You've got 2 racks up. It's very, very difficult for the side of Patriots to push back against this point. Like, the AM is still trying to do work. Abyssal fully up on Jacroy. So they've got a really good instant stun in when he does blink up. They need to follow through from that control. Again, it seems like they can only really do that once. Once the sharpshooter's gone, it does feel like that instant burst does start to disappear there.
I mean, Patriots still not out of it. It seems like Polaris, they're grouping up again down a bot lane. Do they wish to move in without the Aegis, though? It's like we might wait for Natsumi to have his Satanic up first.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And Jacroy with the Ags to come out. It's quite an annoying Ags, that's for sure, that Blink Fragment. Very, very annoying. Just trying to figure out which AM is the real AM. Never mind. Gonna TP up top. UK is gonna be able to scout him out very soon on the Sand King. 4-staff away. They're trying to chase the AM. Jacroy is still away though. Natsumi even gonna go for a chase now, but Jacroy should be fine. Natsumi unable to catch him unless he wants to go for the blind chrono, but he won't. He will allow the TP away. Good news though for Polaris is they found a double damage rune down bot. There is going to be a 5-man smoke, so perhaps they don't have the time, but no, it seems like Lelouch is going to make it in time to pick up that double damage. It could be terrible timing for a 5-man smoke for Patriots. Keep in mind that they are still fighting against the chrono, but maybe they feel like with a surprise kind of initiation, they can pull this fight off. Nevermind's going to have his smoke broken in the mid lane. Patriots, they'll hang around the Roshan pit. Suppose you never know, they might get lucky with an instant respawn on Roshan. Problem is, the base is currently being just overtaken. Polaris, they're right in. Tier 3 tower, backdoor protection, doesn't matter. Lelouch, he's got a double damage rune. Look at that, John. There goes your axe. Where's the TPs, boys? Get back quick. 1 melee barracks left remaining. Scan out, does catch him among Dire. They don't care though, they'll just keep going. Onto that melee barracks, and now there's no backdoor. They'll be forced to glyph it up. Patriots, they are still running, trying to rush back down into the base to defend this. The Ogre just frontlining for the team. There's your Rolling Thunder. Lelouch, he does get caught out, but he has a BKB. He'll just go for the Megas. Anticlimactic for sure, John, but they'll get the Megas up. No defense came out, and now Jacroy, well, he'll blink out in time. But they are up against Mega Creeps. So Polaris Esports, they can happily just take their time with this game too now.
Yeah, they can just wait for next rush if they feel like they need it. Maybe just look for an opportunity to find a kill. You can hold high ground with the AM to an extent. You do have good wave clear on AM, on Pango to an extent, and the Ember. So not the end of the world, but does make it infinitely harder to find that opportunity outside your base to try to find that build up. And Polaris can just kind of chokehold them on that high ground. They've just got so much scaling left. If they want to kind of take it slow, they've got room for the Aegis, potentially the Ags upgrade coming out for free.
Bushwhack is there. They've got the Void. Natsumi, he's still got a BKB up. Maybe trying to force something out, but Xavius moves in with a Fire Blast. In the meantime, Chrono, they've got the Anti-Mage. He blinked right in under the Grimstroke. Do they have the damage? Jacroy, he's going to be able to TP, or rather blink out, but he's still dying right to Lelouch. He blinked into the Lina. The lull. He's still running. It's not looking good here for Patriots. They'll buy back on the AM. Mamang Daya is still fighting. Epicenter out. Still trying to go. Still just trying to walk away, but he's out of remnants now. On the Ember, he's down. It's 2v5. And Jacroy, I mean, it hasn't been the greatest game, that's for sure. Burrow is available. They'll get the Scythe device off first. Onto Delol. That'll be the Pango gone. There goes your AM. Trying to fight. Fire Blast is out. They lock him down. They'll take him out. Lelouch. No problem for the Lina. The GG's called. Polaris Esports take a dominant 2-0 victory here against Patriots. And another Anti-Mage bites the dust here, John.
That it does, Mike. Patriots, I mean, they've tried something different throughout the series. They never go back for that CK that Jacroy knows and loves, that they've had a lot of success with. They go back to the AM this game. Doesn't pay off. Like, the lane for Jacroy wasn't the best. And he did still manage to find that farm buildup. You know, he had a really quick battlefield time along with the Orb of Corrosion and the Power Treads. That's like 13 minutes for all 3 items. Really quick. It's just that it didn't matter because Polaris was just snowballing. Once they played around Chrono really well, they played around that blink timing on Nevermind really well and just started initiating off the back of that and played tempo. And the side of Patriots couldn't fight against that. Like, the synergy they had with Ancient Seal and Bushwhack was nice, but we only really saw that way past mid game. Towards the late game, that's when the combo shined with the Ancient Seal and the Sharpshooter. And you did see those burst opportunities, but at that point, it just felt a little bit too late. You had 2 big cores to worry about from Polaris. Polaris, for their part, again, they just play really well. They go back to this great combination of Lina and Faces Void and Ogre Magi Faces Void and just having that big steroid to build up. And well, I guess for the Patriots, Experimenting around is interesting. Doesn't quite pay off. And Jacroy, I know he loves this AM, but it just doesn't work in every single lineup there, Mike.
Yeah, it doesn't work in many lineups, Jonathan, as we've established over the DPC 202 and obviously BTS Pro Series Season 11. But enough of Anti-Mage, John. We've had our fun with this hero. We'll move on to our final series of the night. Of course, it is going to be Neon against Lil Gun to finish us off here, so it should be a pretty hype matchup to finish off the night. Till then, it is MLPDotA johnxfire. We're going to head off to a short 15-minute break, and right after that break, we'll be back with our final series. We'll see you then.